Yep.
We're here.
So, what's up, everybody?
We're here. No. What's up to start?
Yeah, I mean,
Always a
you
start.
brought it up. Yeah.
Shit, I'm sorry. For once, we actually had a setup. All right. So the theory is, all right. So
He had a plan in his head.
Conspiracies. Tony's not super comfortable with all the political modern geoscience.
What the?
Listen,
Whoa,
I
man,
discuss
dude.
them. I just like to, when we talk about them, I like to keep them internally. I get a little out of my
I don't
comfort
even know
zone.
why you said those couple words you
It's all
said.
about fun. It's all about fun. Always about fun.
Holy shit.
But anyways,
I already need one of these.
Here tonight, overpowering Johnsy, is the Tartarian dynasty, or the city of the Tartarians, which is supposedly a highly advanced society, allegedly, in Russia / Japan, like let's say Mongolian region, in that area there, where apparently everybody was very tall, like 8 to 9 foot tall, or at least their prominent figures were, but also had some very high developed structures, technology. Everything was very advanced. So we're going to talk a little bit about it and just see where this crazy ass world takes us. Johnsy is already
biting at the bit already.
I mean,
I'm just here for the ride.
Like a
That's all
dog
I'm here for.
that got bit by an angry raccoon that didn't get his rabies shot. That's how bad he's frothing right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Damon appreciates that reference so hard. Damon, I know you appreciate that reference.
Wow. I mean, you just got him.
All I'm saying is I told Tony I'm going to dip in the folder for this one tonight. And before the show, I said, yeah, I looked in the folder and probably not appropriate yet for the show.
Really? So if we'd all would have come with like our tinfoil hats on, we'd have been all right.
If I would have dipped in the folder for this one, it would have been like a record. It would have been like a record and save for later. And we'll release it at another time.
Okay. No.
So, but essentially, it's talking about the advanced race that was bigger than us, right? And that's and the weird thing is there's interesting evidence for this, right? So, the craziest thing is, if you want to really get into this, is we are carbon-based beings, correct?
Correct. Allegedly.
I mean, allegedly or not, yeah, carbon-based beings. So before, there were silica beings, like a silica world. Hence the massive plateaus or rock formation.
Guys are ready.
You got visitors. You got visitors. You got visitors.
Me?
No,
yeah,
me.
You got visitors, bro.
Bro, homie, you can't. It's like
I'm sorry.
I thought I was getting raided.
You got visitors. Hey, all them lists you was on. Like,
yeah, I was trying to.
Time to change the look. Like Dan O'Toole said, you got to change the look.
No, look, yeah. Look, you guys won't even recognize me tomorrow.
So what's funny is I couldn't remember Tartaria, and I kept typing in Tartarian, which was Jerry Tartarian, who was
Tartar,
yes. Like tartar sauce.
Yes.
Tartar sauce with the Ian. But I was typing in Tartarian, who is Jerry Tartarian, who is a Hall of Fame basketball coach for UNLV that used to chew on a towel. So,
it's not the same guy. Yeah.
Which definitely has a previous algorithm into my Google. So, as you could imagine, there was some confusion. I was like, I don't want to learn about the basketball coach right now. I know about Jerry. I know about Jerry very well. I want to know about. So I had to go back to the other video to find out what the official name was Tartarian, and that's where the confusion was. So that's on me. Now everybody knows the rest of the story, and way too much because that's too much, Tony. You are welcome.
Always too much, Tony.
Yeah, I don't even remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, the show's over, guys. Show's over. Great show tonight, guys.
Tartaria.
Oh, and the large beans, right?
In the large beans. And apparently the technology that came along with them, because the theory goes that the domes were actually like energy conserving reducer transmitters type things, where they were functional technology.
Please use some more electrical terms, please. I love it so much. Yeah.
So they're saying just the way that they are. So now, like when you see like over in like Istanbul, Turkey, you see like the big domes. Like, yeah, they would say, like, oh, that's architecture. But if it's Tartarian influenced, then those are just now designs, but they were originally designed for like radio towers, essentially, back in like old times.
Almost.
Okay.
Not radio. Definitely not radio. But
or communication of some
negative.
Okay. What is it then? Because I'm new. I'm new to this theory. I need educated.
Dude. So if you
and these are all alleged conspiracies, by the way.
Right. This is all for entertainment purposes only, right?
Entertainment purposes.
Right.
First of many times using that graphic for the record.
If you think about it, right? So let's backtrack a little bit. Just say like, hey, who are these Tartarians? You're talking about advanced civilization, bigger, because they were bigger, right? So, okay.
Supposedly they were like gentle giants, so like very friendly.
I know. So let's back up a little bit and let's look at how far back maybe we can break this down a little bit. And like the Devil's Thumb or whatever it's called, Devil's Tower or whatever in Arizona or New Mexico, wherever. And there's several different ones all over the world like this. And rock climbers, you can look up like tons of rock climbers talk about this. So like when we're climbing this, it looks more like a tree than a rock.
I think it's Wyoming.
There is definitely one there, but the one I'm talking about is definitely not in Wyoming. But anyway, they're all over the world. And then like over in Ireland or Scotland, there's all these ones on the ocean and all this stuff. And they look like trees. So the theory is that these were silica trees before everything was carbon-based. And now we have this whole thing coming out about the Tartarians that were these big beings of advanced civilization, this and that. Well, do you think they walked around just like bigger than the trees, or were the trees to scale? And if you now, if you look at some of the doors, in some of the oldest buildings and the archways and this and that, and you see the sheer magnitude, why? Well, go ahead real quick, Tony.
For buildings such as the Singer Building, the original New York Penn Station, and the temporary grounds of the 1915 World's Fair were actually buildings of a vast empire based in Tartary that has been suppressed from history. Wow. Even Wikipedia just comes out and just shoots from the hips on the basic Google.
Well, what about the arch in France? Why would humans that are this big build an archway for humans for things?
Now in the Colosseum it makes sense because like the dome and the way it's built supports a shit ton of weight like it's like a support beam because the dome actually is structurally stable. So like things like that make sense. But like what you're saying in France, it makes no damn sense because it's not supporting anything. It's just a regular.
Okay. Now listen.
It's not like it's supporting like 5 stories above it. So it's like why
it's supporting nothing above it.
But the other thing is like is opposite Napoleon Bonaparte, who developed and commissioned. Oh, I forget the damn name of that. But anyway, but yeah, the white stone archway. Some people believe to say that he had the Napoleon syndrome, so he wanted to make things as big as freaking possible to overcompensate for his small stature.
Okay, so let's just say, let's run with this for quick. This is how
that was a deep dive right there.
I know, and I love it. And this is how you collectively, or consciously come to a decision where you realize what you've been told is absolute bullshit. Okay, so let's do this. So this little midget of a dude who conquered a bunch of nations, whatever, Napoleon, had this little man syndrome. So he's like, hey, build the arch, which is probably it's not how it happened. But anyway,
is it Les Arches de Colosseum?
No, I'm talking about the archway in France. It's just a square thing with an arch. Now listen, if you walk inside of it,
the name of it.
I'm trying to too. I can't remember it. If you walk into it, underneath are perfect flowers, and in the middle of squares, everything perfectly geometrically shaped, everything identical. There is zero flaws. Now, yeah, that's it. Thank you, Tony. Thank you.
Shout out Google.
Oh, the almighty Google. Yeah, but try and find something you're really trying to find on the Google. Oh, boy. Anyway, so all this stuff perfectly designed, but no power tools, no 3D printers, no nothing. Get the underside. Get the underside of that mother effer with all the flowers. And tell me that the people who are marching across in lines of soldiers on foot and on horseback, perfectly designed that and built that. When did they have the time? We were warring with each other. They were poor, peasants.
Yeah, it's wild, man. It's
so
really
listen.
Anyway, but the point of this all is like, why are there archways built so big, consistently across multiple beautiful shot?
What about this right here? What about this? Let me do this. Let me just throw this into
why so many archways that were so tall over the course of history?
Not just archways.
Like, not like it's not like it was a fad in the 1850s. Like, we're finding stuff.
No, not just archways. Look at these buildings. Look at all these buildings.
Well, look at so for example, Abe Lincoln.
And look at the doorways. Look at the doorways. Look at the pillars. Why? Listen, and we are told that we built these when our best technology was a horse-drawn cart. That's the best we come up with in blacksmith. Yeah. Meanwhile, in St. Petersburg and places in Russia, there are these perfect onion domes made out of metal and stuff with these beautiful, intricate colors. But the best we could do as a people is mud roads and
cobblestone.
Not even that.
Well, I will say one thing. Well, and that's hang on, we won't switch yet because that's
But here's the thing.
I was gonna say
I have yet to see any definitive proof that you can tell me that there is a logical explanation about the human race actually creating these defeats, building these doorways that are for something 10 feet taller than humans on the average. Why would they spend the time to build these buildings? Why?
Well, And the other question is like, why is no one talking about it? Why is it all being omitted from allegedly from the history book?
Bingo.
You know, they're even talking about the fire of Notre Dame. Like that tied to all of it because it was another attempt to omit a vital piece of history for some reason we're not supposed to know about.
You mean they burned down a tower to cover up something? Weird.
Yeah.
That's never happened before or since.
No, yeah, who would need to know about that?
Yeah, who would need to burn down a tower or two?
I guess it goes to show you, like, it seemed to be deemed as a peaceful society, and then they're in the middle of Russia, which during the 1800s, Russia wasn't like a friendly place to exist. So
what you've been told,
like, the ones to be alleged to be the most enlightened,
what you've been told,
ones to be extinct because they eventually trust that things will just magically turn around.
So here's another thing: if you dive deep enough on the internet, you can find pictures of the biggest cities in Russia with these massive buildings, all these onion domes, huge doors for people that seem like they're 15 feet tall rather than the regular size we all are. But yet when we are told the city was population of 500,000 to 1 million in the 1850s, whatever, they can get a picture of it completely empty. Now, in the middle of day, you can tell by the sun in the photo. Now, how are you telling me that a city of 500,000 to 1 million, you were just able to clear the streets from a hilltop and take a perfect picture?
Well,
yet, just a few years later, a photo from the same hilltop, and it's a bustling street of people with carts they're pulling themselves, or a donkey or a horse or whatever, but yet they're these massive buildings of metal and stone. How in the did they do that? Get out of here.
Well, and here's the other thing too. It's like, it's not that it was isolated to a very small area.
But I'm crazy.
This culture is related to
the world.
Well,
Plain,
as far as
whatever you want to call it.
I was going to say is the version of the property of Tartary. You know, the home base of that anyway stemmed from Siberia, Mongolia, all the way as far south as Afghanistan. And we're hearing about, it's like basically the desert, and there's so many mountains and caves and taverns. There's so many things that have yet to be explored. I mean, well, allegedly, that it just seems like the form for them. They can hide about anything out there. So it's like the pictures that are out there, the black and white photos of people with giant people, it just seemed to be just magically disappearing. It's very wild. It's very interesting.
One thing I would like everybody to remember about photographs. And
look at this photograph. Every time it makes me. Nope. No, not the right
photograph. I don't need your photograph. I don't want. That was Nickelback and Def Leppard. 2 Photograph songs. Boom, baby. We're back, Tony. We are all the way back, brother.
We're back. It was getting too serious. Let's not get too serious. But don't ever take me serious. Serious. Sorry.
Serious.
We're back.
I'm not. I'm in this Swiss cheese. I hit a bubble. I forgot what we were talking about.
Love you, David.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about how vast the desert is and like how spread out that it wasn't like this was like a very like 50-mile radius super endangered culture. This culture once stemmed across like thousands of miles out in like some of the most desolate on paper areas in the world. On paper is the key word.
I still don't remember what I was going to bring up. That didn't jog any memory. Damn it. That was a good point I was going to bring up, too.
I was talking about like how if you were going to cover something up, it would be out in the middle of the desert and the mountains. When you got the desert and the mountains combined, like it's a perfect storm.
Why?
Like,
Why would that? Why,
they're like,
Tony? Why would they even worry about the terrain when they're covering stuff right underneath you right now?
Well, and that's the theory with this, as that guy said in that video, the Great Mud Flood. And there are supposedly cities now in the Siberian area, and I don't know what the tower is. I don't know.
I don't know why this is why this is so centrally located with that. Because
but they're saying there's thousands of years of extra technology underneath this mud, like terrain. Like what we see is like this massive castle, but if you were to excavate around it, it would go thousands of feet down with more castle.
So listen. If you look hard enough on the internet, they don't want to show you right away on the almighty Google. But if you look all over the world, there are buildings where the basement that is underground has a front door and stairs leading up to it that are buried. Now, why would that be?
Yeah, it's like, well, only a few people are going to see this, so we're just going to not disclose it until that time comes. Allegedly, we need to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, entertainment purposes. Yeah, none of this has any reflection on the Dude Network as a whole. We are just here having fun.
Listen,
trying to poke at knowledge. Like,
if you want to learn about this, read your history books. It's trustworthy.
My man. But so listen. Why would a people who are living in hovels with thatch roofs, blacksmithing, why would we build these buildings with stairs and then bury it? So we didn't bury them. So what happened? Why were these this? Also, why are the doors this effing big? Also, why? Why, if you look into these ancient civilizations,
so much work for back in the times when every minute had a purpose of the day. Like, why through so much extra money when you didn't have spending like we spend now? But you know what I mean? Like, why so much consistent effort to make things like that for no effing reason whatsoever? That's my question.
So here's the deal. Also, if you really do any kind of logical thinking and understanding about anything, the Earth has an electromagnetic field. We are electromagnetic beings. So that is why Tesla coils work. And everybody knows what a Tesla coil is. If you don't, you can look it up all over the internet. They work. It is an absolute, it broadcasts electricity Wi-Fi. There's no plugs required. You turn them on. And my dad in the garage, standing 10, 13 feet away from the device turned on, had a light bulb in his hand that turned on. It's the way it is. Broadcast electricity Wi-Fi. Tesla coils. Look them up. It's 100% real. There is no tricks, no nothing about it. Nope. There is no allegedly about this. None.
He's like, I ain't letting you do
Now, there's all these buildings that are perfectly shaped. I'm also an electrician. Perfectly shaped as resonators, conductors, amplifiers. And now all of those buildings have stained glass in those parts. And there's, why is that? Also, in these big, awesome buildings.
We didn't talk anything about stained glass. So
why are all the bells
what is the theory? What is the theory behind stained glass, John Z?
Nothing bad about stained glass. Stained glass is cool, but they plugged up the amplifiers and the conductors or capacitors of all the electromagnetic energy of the earth. That's the allegedly. Excuse me. Sorry. Again, entertainment purpose. Allegedly. What's not allegedly is Jonesy's about to try the zesty anything bagel.
Way to transition this thing.
This is it. Live reaction.
Well, Damon, his life's over because he's going to just be upset.
Yeah, because we got my reaction raw last week. Tony made a video this week.
Yeah, that's right. It's just like with the Zab, there's so many different flavor profiles with the peppers.
Keep going. The more you go, the more it expands.
You'll get that bite where it's just like pure anjo pepper. Like,
I only have one thing to say, and Damon can answer it. What are we always saying on AFS, or what are you?
I said it last week. It's layers on top of layers in there because it's totally different this way than if you were to use it on food.
This is good.
Yeah, it's real good.
Well, straight from Ken, this is one of his favorites now. He's been in the popcorn game for a minute.
That is true. He's been he eats a lot of kettle corn.
What were we talking about?
I'm still reading on this Tartarian.
Right. So here's the deal.
They're saying that Notre Dame de Paris is one landmark that theorists believe was created by the Tartars, not French craftsmen in the 1700s.
Right.
It was used as a sound bath by the Tartars.
And now let me bring this to you. Who?
Chicago Federal Building.
Who probably built the pyramids? Now, with that being said,
and I have heard that.
Now, hold on a second.
They are linked to this.
Now, hold on. Again, just throwing some wild accusations out there. Here you have an advanced civilization, right? Now, everything you've been taught, we live on this ball that's ever expanding, this universe is ever expanding, blah, 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 right? But at some point in time ago, these people had some slaves build these pyramids that somehow directly align continuously throughout the ages with 3 stars in the sky. But yeah, the Tartarians don't exist, whatever.
Herman, you did on it.
Man, it's wild watching all this, man.
Well, this is we're like 1-2 layers into this onion. That's all.
Yeah, they're like in 1915, the whole like world fairgrounds was like created in honor to the Tartars. And I had a thing called like the Tower of Jewels, a temporary structure that was demolished soon after the fair ended. Conspiracy theorists claimed it was an example of a Tartarian capital.
No, but it was just the
1915 World Fair. They had a display.
It was just a fire.
I would like to. There's got to be some kind of documentation from the 1915 World Fair where someone surely got a picture of the Tower of Jewels.
Hey, you know how I'm always talking about receipts? There's a file of receipts that you wouldn't believe. Not mine. I wish I had those receipts.
It's so scary to hear him say that, Damon.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you don't want to fucking go here. You're like... So, Damon, what do you think about all this, man? I mean, I know you're like open to it. I mean, have you heard anything about this?
Dude,
I ain't got this far to it yet, but just looking into it, I mean, it all links around the same. It all has a link. No matter which way you turn, it all has a link.
It's a little bit. We gotta go a little bit. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. You got to go probably a little bit further though.
Yeah, Damon is keeping it very politically correct right now for what we've already talked about.
Yeah,
this is why Damon is amazing. Well, one of many. One of many.
I mean, if you know, and it's like John Z says it all the time. You know, I've been telling people, you know, do your own research about it, find out your own information about it.
Please think I'm lying and look it up.
You know, don't take our word or his word or anybody's word for anything these days.
Well, yeah, and I think that's what the whole point of all this is. It's just have fun. It's have fun to go out and learn these things. Because here's the thing: if you go and you don't like it and don't match up, then you know at a high level you did the research.
Mm-hmm.
This popcorn is stupid good.
Yeah, I had to put it down.
I mean, that's where I'm at. Ken, please decide to do this full time.
Yeah, because I done knocked the bottom. Johnson killed half a bag like in 3 minutes.
Yeah,
dude, this is no joke.
The further down in the bag you get, the better it gets.
You ain't lying. Right there, what Damon just said.
Right.
Because it was banging at the top, and it's like
I got cap
Tony's
that
down
off.
to the money. Tony's down to the money shots.
No, I gotta cap that off. I'm gonna eat the whole thing.
But still, though, it was it's just funny. It's like, why were the people giant people? Like, why were they the beholders?
So the theory on that is, I know the theory on that.
Go ahead and see if I'm right in my head.
Actually, I have a theory of why it makes sense. But they're called gentle giants. So
no, I literally have okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I'll give you my theory, then you can tell me.
I wasn't sure how far you're going.
Yeah. Oh. So it would make sense that the safekeepers of the biggest truths and the facts of this world have to be a trusted type of people, and that is by design. So what better trusted people than gentle giants, ones that are intimidating enough to where no one's going to go and approach them from afar because they're giants compared to regular people. But also, you can't have giants that are also assholes. So you need to have giants that are also progressive in the mindset of thinking of like a regular small person. So it's almost like if you're going to have giants to be the protectors and developers of the thing, they also have to be some of the biggest sympathizers if they're perfectly created, per se. Because what other kind of group would get manifested, like pushed out? The nicest people in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's my theory.
Man. Wow. And four. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I did not even expect all that.
Mm-hmm.
I think like people, man, like how do you like interactions? If I see a giant, if I trust them with my secrets, they have to be very, 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 very nice. Because I'm gonna be scared the fucking shit out of a dude that's 9 foot tall.
Okay, so I'm 10 feet tall. I walk up to you. I'm like, tell me your secrets. What are you gonna do?
Make up some bullshit and pray you
got. And then I grab you and I lift you up
and call him George.
And I'm gonna say I'm gonna eat you. You're still gonna keep lying?
I mean, at that point, you kind of committed to the bit. I mean, if you changed out, then they're going to eat you for being a liar.
That's a legit theory. Now, I'll offer a different one.
no good deed goes unpunished comes from somewhere in this theory of time.
Sure.
You ever heard the theory? No good deed goes unpunished.
No, everybody's
Yeah, we've
we're
heard it,
just
but
not sure where that applied to.
how did it connect it to the Giants?
I'm
We
just
ain't sure
saying,
yet.
somewhere along the line, that became a real thing. Maybe it was this. No good deed goes unpunished.
So
because all the good people go away because they're too good, and
Can
bad
I
people
offer-
take advantage of it.
can I offer a crazy different, totally made up for entertainment purposes only?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, we'll start out like Star Wars, long time ago, but not as long as you may think. There was a completely different world where the trees were massive, the people were bigger, the buildings were bigger, the doors they required were bigger. I don't know. Yeah. I'm just writing a little story for maybe a children's book or something. That's all I'm doing here, folks.
Okay, a little ditty.
Right. Well, I mean, in the good sense of the word. Yeah, I got you, Damon. I got you.
No, that did not go well at that point.
Shout out Diddy and Jay-Z.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that party.
Yeah, no. Damon, I got you.
It's about Jack and Diane.
And then a radical change happened. And whatever. Maybe people call it the Ice Age, or maybe people call it this or that or whatever. Some shift happened, right? And all of a sudden there was not so big people and not so big trees, and they didn't require as big of doors and all this stuff.
Yes. Here's my question.
I'm finished, apparently.
You're what?
Go ahead, buddy. I want to know your question.
How do little people keep beating big people?
They've done that all the way into. They've done that all the way into the Bible.
I know, but like,
wait.
People start like learning from their
what was
mistakes.
the question? I didn't even hear.
How does little people keep beating big people?
It was again entertainment purposes only. It was not little people. It was not little people beating big people. It was not that at all.
Mm-hmm. Big people beat big people?
It was all of a sudden there was a massive change, and there was no more big, intense silica people or trees or anything. And then there was us, or regular sized people that you would call it, or carbon-based beings and carbon-based trees and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I don't understand like the why though. Like, why did they stop making those kinds of things?
What do you mean? Why did who stop making those kind of things?
I don't know the who. I mean, I'm not trying to get into that discussion.
But you just did by bringing that up. I'm just talking about the history.
Well, I guess it's like
I'm just talking about a theoretical history of the realm we live in. And that's exactly how I'm going to say it.
There's series of these giant people, but I guess, and you still can get a giant person occasionally.
Why would that be, Damon?
I don't know. Tell us more.
I'm actually curious on the theory on this. I'm very intrigued because
once we were all that size that lived here, when the trees were bigger.
So it's like an anomaly,
and everything was bigger. So let me ask you this: have you ever seen like a topographical, like 3D print of the ocean or anything like that?
I mean, yeah, not in a while.
Now, have you ever also total separate question? I know that it's kind of weird. I'm just throwing back-to-back non-related questions here. Have you ever seen what a mine looks like, where like diggers have scraped the sides of things?
Yeah, West Virginia, absolutely.
Yeah. And I know. Again, they don't look the same at all. So, I just blew a couple people's minds.
No, I was with you, but yeah.
What do you really know about? Here's the deal. You've just learned about liquefaction. Is what the mud stuff you're talking about. It's called liquefaction. That's the term. And why are there basements built on these huge, massive buildings with a front door on them, with stairs leading up to that front door? So basement floor, front door, stairs leading up to it, but all that's underground. Why would that be? Why would we have done that as the ancient people? When all we could do, when we know the timeline of history, like in the early 1900s, we were still putting cocaine in our medicine because that's what we thought was okay,
Or drinks, yeah.
or popular soda beverages, whatever.
Love me some Coca-Cola.
Yeah, good thing. Good question.
I mean, look. It's not that I believe any of this.
Does it change our life going forward? Probably not.
No, I disagree 100% with that statement right there. Disagree 100% with that statement, because here's the deal: when you look at everything all sliced up, I don't care. Everybody knows we didn't go to the moon. It's all over the internet now. Like, everything about NASA is a joke. It's all over the internet. I don't care. So, if they're lying about all this stuff, whoever, I'm just saying, if this is such a huge facade to keep us, everybody's all hyped up on these drones. Well, they're nothing. Just like they've been keeping us distracted with all these billions of dollars of taxes going to NASA every year about space and all this shit, and we've never been. That's been proven time and time also again online. Like, don't take.
Yeah, yep.
It was Christmas stuff driving by. You gotta love the holidays.
All right, man. I thought the dogs were barking. I was fixing to say, here he comes.
Oh, no. But
I don't know. I just thought
where was I at? I was bringing it home before the commercial. Where was I at?
You was on a rant, but I'm not sure where you was headed with it.
Damn it. What was the last thing I said?
You.
God damn it.
Please,
Squirrel.
please. I hate the Swiss cheese.
Yeah, Swiss cheese is going on.
Basically, you was trying to you was leading into the sense of there's a lot of information out there. You believe what you believe, and that's where you was kind of heading with it.
Not ringing any bells. All I'm saying is, for entertainment purposes only, we're having a good time tonight. Please just ask a question once in a while. It's that simple.
Yeah. I think you're going to question everything.
Tony brought up this subject about mud stuff, and I was like, "Oh, that's called liquefaction." Let's go into it. Now, why would people build buildings that now have stairs and front doors that are completely buried underground and doors that are way bigger than us? Well, we wouldn't have, because we didn't.
I get every once in a while you want like something like that's big and over the top to show off, but there's some pretty poor ass societies along the way building these massive archways, and it's like, and we know they didn't have the budget to justify that for no reason whatsoever, other than just be like, "Oh, we have
There
big."
you go.
So
That being said, with this incredible zesty bagel from Ken's Corn,
Ken's going to love to be associated with this show, by the way.
we will see you right after these messages.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This guy.
Mother truckers.
What's up? No way, dude.
Cheers.
Act like I never left.
Styles and trowels and levels to stock self-manufactured cement products such as cement blocks, septic and reservoir tanks. Stocker Concrete also offers cement truck delivery. Call Stocker Concrete 740-254-4626. Find them at 7574 US Route 36.
What's he trying to do? The double coverage.
He tried to thread the needle. Watch this. Well, he had him open. He thought he was expecting that guy to step in Mark Chase. That was a great defensive play right there by 21. He thought he was going to stay with Jamar. If you look right here, he's like, nope, going to go with Jasecki. Double team. What a play.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
What's your response? Yeah. What's the game plan here?
Tomorrow on Saturday, we got 3 sides to turn in and a dessert. Okay. And that has its own grand championship. So you can be the sides grand champion. And then on Sunday, Kyle's doing chicken and ribs. I'm doing pork and brisket. And Grubby Q's bringing that American.
Let me check my Palm Pilot. Look like I ain't doing shit. Gonna get drunk and watch the Grinch.
I was like, dude, can you go grab that? And he's all, oh boy, yeah, I'll go. And he comes in, and my meat thermometer's stuck in it, my instant read, but it's facing him. And I already knew. I knew it was over. When you have to remember, it's fucking over. It's over 10. And here's that flat iron, man, because Damon walks in and he turns.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Kiss my ass.
Francois Verov appeared on the French quiz show Twat Le Monde.
Oh, it's two, not twat. It's two.
While being out in the open, Verov had been.
It's a fair question, Lynn. Fair question. It's a fair question.
What? Oh, I missed it. Sorry. On the run from authorities from. Oh my God, that's so bad.
I didn't know that was already clipped. I need that clip like yesterday. That's going on the pods page like tomorrow.
I got to put. It's 2 pieces. I'll put it together and put it on the
Get it over to me, man. I will make that. Yeah, we'll get that out there immediately.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad. My bad, guys.
It's just hilarious that you came up with the word twat when the word letters T-O-U-T were out there.
I don't know what's going on.
Like, toot makes sense.
Oh,
was it
I know what was going
on. Garage beer. Cheers.
Okay.
Dude, okay. Look.
You were like twat, and I was like, you can even see my reaction.
I'm off that. This popcorn, though, look where we're at already, boys.
He said I'm off it. Jeez. Yeah, it's bad. My bag is like trash. I need to.
Dude, this shit is so good, bro.
Yeah, I'm right there with Jonesy now, and I've been holding mine for a week. Jonesy's had his for 5 minutes.
Yeah. That's a problem though with Ken's Corn is like it's like one big bag per sitting because like it's so good. It's hard to shut it off halfway through.
And it's such a variety from him too. At the same time, I mean, you can get your salties, you can get your, your sweets, you can get your butters.
You need your heat, regular.
Yeah, I mean, long story short, he's a mastermind of the Dakota one.
Yeah. He is a mastermind.
Excuse me, my wife will be very upset about this, but I'm going to take a moment.
Yeah, I mean, you made the statement. I mean, they even throw down on the chicks, man.
On the old Muddy Buddy.
Some reindeer chow for Christmas time.
Yeah. There was once upon a time, I don't think they call it that anymore for multiple reasons, but they used to be called Muddy Buddies.
Mm-hmm.
But then they got affiliated with a lot of not good things, and you can't say that anymore.
They were originally Muddy Buddies, though. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, Muddy Buddies was a cool word till people started getting into kink shaming. That was the end of that.
Well, thanks, Google, for popping up stuff on my page.
Uh-oh. What did Google pop up? What did Google pop up?
It's,
Oh, boy.
They be watching and listening. Let's put it that way.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Was it Muddy Buddies related, or was it other stuff related?
No, it was other stuff related.
That's okay.
You two and Messer actually owe me an apology, and you guys can issue it whenever you're wanting and whenever you're
Wait, whoa.
All I'm saying is my algorithm was full of people fighting street fights and people making bad choices and getting, like the judges like throwing dumbass criminals in jail and all this other stuff. And you guys come around.
How dare you?
Oh, we come around.
And next thing you know, my algorithm all morning was filled up with shit like this that we're talking about tonight.
All right. So okay. Here's how we go.
David, you go first.
You go first. No. I'm not done. And
here's how we settle this.
Go ahead, Damon. Go ahead.
Here's how we settled it. We'll go back to sending nothing, and the whole group will be dead. And me and John D just send it back and forth to each other like we used to, and still do, because there's some stuff that y'all still aren't ready for. So no, I won't apologize because you, grown man, you can lead the group if you wanted to.
No, listen. I'm like, what Instagram algorithm was going to feed me the sport? I was like, oh, conspiracy.
I'm going to mute you again.
Oh, look, they discovered the hole in the Antarctic wall. I'm like, that's cool. Then the next day, like another hole in the Antarctic wall. I'm like, that's kind of consistent.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Okay.
Third one, they're like,
real quick. How dare you, sir, put that on Tim Messer?
Yeah.
Nothing to do with it. This was all me and Damon.
Actually, he said we owe an apology to him and Tim.
Oh, I thought he said he deserved an apology.
No.
This is starting to feel an awful lot like being a Republican on the political trail. Just getting mic cut off, muted, censored. This is cool. I created this whole fucking thing, and I can't even get a goddamn word in because my mic keeps getting muted. Fuck both of you. There it is.
Well, I wasn't muted that time, sir.
No, I know. I took my chance. I had to wait very, very patiently for that opportunity to say something as I kept getting muted for the last 10. You know what? I'll mute myself. Fuck everything.
Oh yeah. And this is where we've gotten to.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, we can fix it. There will be no more.
There's no fixing it.
There is. No,
I'm already shot and I'm already hooked. Because now I'm sitting there binging. I'm actually excited to see a new angle of all these theories. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's new.
No, there it is. Everything here was all for entertainment purposes only. None of this reflects on the Dude Network's thoughts or opinions as a whole. Every statement is to the individual themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
do your research.
That's not a. Do your research is not a disclaimer.
It is a disclaimer.
Do your research is like you said. It's a forced action. You can't throw a forced action.
Or maybe prove that I'm wrong.
That's feel free to do your own research. Maybe.
But that's not a disclaimer, though.
I mean, what he kind of threw at the end wasn't really a disclaimer either. It seemed pretty forced, like pretty opinionated.
But Damon put up the graphic.
For entertainment purposes only, it had nothing to do with do your own research. that was. Can we agree? That was a little add-in. That was a little add-in. That was a little.
I don't know, but if you read the fine print, up under that image,
It was 100%.
Say it.
100%. It was 100%. Not a little. 100%.
Oh shit! This has been one of the best fucking shows of weekend. Chip won like $2,000 on Thursday. We had Dan O'Toole on Friday.
Yeah.
We get deep into conspiracies on Saturday. Good luck on following us up on another foodie show Sunday. Because I'm just saying,
wow,
we went hard. We're stepping up the production this week.
Well, do you even know what we have planned for tomorrow?
Why don't you tell us? Give us a little teaser.
I will.
I'm glad you asked.
Here it is right here. You'll have to tune in tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock.
That does not make me want to tune in. That does not make me want to tune in.
That's your own issue then.
Nope.
But you can do your own research and look back at the past shows and realize we're no slack.
No, you got to say it like this. Just do your own research.
Definitely didn't have that creepy uncle vibe. Like
definitely fucking creepy Uncle Bobby vibes and that shit. 100%. Yeah, like my butthole feels violated right now. Like 100%.
These are personal.
I'm writing a statement right now to HR about that.
Hey, HR department. Johnsy at thedudenetwork.com.
Jeez, man. I mean, where do you go from that?
Also, if you have anything you really liked, or where's that at?
Or didn't like.
Oh boy. You can, exactly where I was getting to.
Yeah. Send all the complaints and likes to that number right there.
Right. Text message. It gets voicemail.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee that any three of us will answer.
Yeah. Who knows? We might.
But you never know.
You never know until you don't try.
Just leave a message. We're not at home.
Okay.
Wait, no. It'd be Tony Johnsy Damon. Oh, not at home. Let's leave a message at the beep. We must be out or we pick up the phone. Where could we be? Believe it or not, we're not home.
Beep.
There it is. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's about as good as recording like voicemails off the radio back in the 90s.
Fucking back in Nashville right now.
Yeah. Nah. We won't go there.
No, there is a message about the Dude Network on there, though, if you leave a voicemail.
Okay.
It's not that god-awful song I just sang, though. It's not that.
I think we need to let that happen.
If you want to know what that voicemail is, then you guys know what we got to do. Yeah, 673-0251.
Whoa. Holy F. Okay, let's try that again. If you guys want to Listen to what that is now. 740-673-002. 0, not O. 0251.
Listen, 0 and O are the same thing when saying a number.
Yeah, definitely.
Funny. Okay. It's hilarious because I've noticed this actually as a young kid that in my area we would say O instead of zeros when giving out a phone number. It was 33. I live in area code 330, but we would say 330, and that's what they say. It's the 330.
Oh, because everybody's always like Ohio.
Yeah, they actually. It's funny. Like what we say is like you're from the 330. It's not the 330. No one says 330 here. No one says 330. So that's hilarious that we're talking because I always wondered. I'm like, should I say when like people from outside, especially when I got into college and people would ask for your number, like you go to like exchange numbers, like you had to be careful. Like you in the back of my mind, I was like, O seems like I could get picked on for saying O.
Yeah.
But if I say 0, then I know I'm good no matter what.
True.
But it's funny though, when I went to college, like, yeah, O is 330, 740.
Speaking of O, Johnny's got a look on his face of
I just got a video sent to me.
Uh-oh.
Of family at the Christmas party. I just got a thumbs down.
What?
I just got a thumbs down for not being at the Christmas party this year.
What, from work?
Oh no, the family Christmas party.
You weren't at the family Christmas party?
Well, to be fair, there was a lot more involved than in my thought process before it all panned out today.
So we also got the dudenetwork.com.
Yeah, great. Now that we ruined Christmas.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that after we're not recording anymore.
Exactly.
Just remember, folks, there was people here long before us. The buildings are big. Look into it a little bit. And everything here was for entertainment purposes only. We're just having a good time. That's all. And, hey, no, straight up. Here's the Dude Network run. Thursday night. Epic. I can't even express how epic the late night parlay was for Tony and Chip from 3 Overs Daily. It was absolutely insane. Something like 1,500, $2,000. I don't know. They just won. It was ridiculous.
Stacks on stacks, racks on racks.
You also watched last night, I'm assuming, unless you just are a Grinch or something.
Oh, you hate life.
Yeah. And you saw Dan O'Toole.
No, he was laughing at me.
No.
Okay. Oh, I thought I was like, I didn't.
No, you didn't mess up this time. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I had
absolute freaking legend in the sports broadcasting community. Absolute legend. And it was coincidentally not about sports, just an insanely good time with a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, for sure.
Tonight, it was what it was. You know, just take it, okay? It was what it was. But tomorrow is another footy show, and the Dude Network is constantly bringing you more entertainment. So please continue to tune in, join the ride, bring a friend, share it with everybody you know, because that's what makes the world go round.
And round and round.
And round.
But seriously, everybody have a Merry Christmas this week. From the Dude Network family to yours, please have a Merry Christmas.
That's right.
Or whatever you choose to celebrate. Just everybody have a good holiday.
Like Kwanzaa.
Happy Saturnalia.
This dude he southernized that thing just then. He ran that whole sentence on.
But the most important thing,
it was actually an old Navy ad campaign back in the early 2000s, and they coined the phrase "Chris Mahana Kwanzaa."
So, with that being said, everybody have a wonderful holiday. And here's the most important thing you can do this holiday season and continually over in your life is do something good for other people and do something good for yourself. Everybody, it's free to be kind. So let's just keep spreading that around. That's the Dude Network motto. It's Dude Network approved.
Happy Chris Mahana Kwanzaa.
And we'll see you next time.